All right, hey guys, today is May 20th. Yes, May 20th. And I am at church camp. Got here yesterday, setting up base camp for a big family outing, about 30, 35 of us up here. Anyway, so talk a little bit about last night. Um, had something happen last night that I have never had happen before. It was pretty cool. Before I get into that, there wasn't a whole lot of activity last night. Um, Not a ghost town, just not real interactive. Well, I can't even say. Just one of those nights. I'll just put it that way. It was one of those nights. Not a lot happened, but one of the things that happened was pretty big. So I'll get into it. So I'm sitting out here and like off that direction and directly over that chair, way back in the tree line. Um, I got a good twinkle light from over there. And little time went by, and directly center screen, you can see that uh, dead pine tree that's at an angle. It's fallen over. We call it the Widowmaker, but it's pretty well secured up against another tree, so we just ignore it. Anyway, somewhere directly back behind that, could have been a little left, could have been a little right, but back in that tree line back there, I could hear movement, and I had said something, to the effect of, "Hello, I can hear you over there." And what transpired next has never happened to me before in this sequence. Whoever it was over there, "Hiya!" About like that. And within a second after that, I got lit up. I mean, I got lit up. Definitely the best zap I've had all year long. It was powerful and lasted probably 12 seconds max, but probably around 8 seconds. Just had me nailed to the chair. And, so I told him, I said, "I can feel that and I thank you." And nothing, it was quiet for a while. And so if you see where my truck is, my truck's this side of the road. So you follow off the nose of my truck and you see these trees that are right here. Well, these first couple of oak trees are on this side of the road. And so I think whoever it was either in those trees or back on the other side of the road behind one of those trees. But either way, I could hear his feet shuffling, kind of like you do when, it's like, "Oh my goodness," and you just kind of sit there and shuffle your feet and, maybe drag, makes marks on it, what have you. That's what it sounded like. And so I told him, I said, "I know you're right there and I can hear you." And I got zapped again. Wasn't as strong as the first one, but it was definitely a strong zap. And that was it for a while. And I may have seen a twinkle light back that direction. And back over that direction, over the chair. I'm pretty confident I had eye glow, but I'm not going to hang my hat on it because it was more out of the corner of my eye as I was looking over that direction, panning from my right to my left. But not really anything went on after that. I went to bed 9:45 ish, and no activity while I was, while I was in the tent that I can speak of, that I know of. I pretty much slept all the way through the night. But, yeah. Hiya! It's a couple of things that I'm pondering is, maybe he said, hi, you, and then zapped the hell out of me, or the name that they have given me is Hayata. I mean, something similar to that. In the language of the Dene, it's, I guess it's loosely translated as searcher, seeker, or scout. So maybe he was calling me by name. I'm more leaning towards, the calling me by name, but I have no idea. I can't hang my hat on it, but it was definitely Haya and then zap. And, so there it is. That was very unique. Like I said, I've never had anything like that happen before. I've been yelled at, I've been spoken to, I've been, zapped and yada 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 yada. But to have that vocalization and have it immediately followed up by a power zap, just a special moment, very special moment. Squatch camp will always be my favorite, but I'll tell you what, the spot right here never ceases to amaze me. None of this really does. But, all right, I am going to let you guys go. Oh, yeah, and as you might notice, I've cleaned up. So before I let you go, I'll tell you why. Because I wanted to. Last trip over at Squatch Camp, I woke up, my beard's all, I don't know. I was just like, enough. And so I'm going as close back to normal as I can. Still debating on if I'm going to trim this off and just stick with the goatee. But Mama likes this. She just doesn't like it long. So there it is. The new old me. But as always, I love each and every one of you. Be good to yourselves. Be good to those around you. Pay close attention to your surroundings. And please stay safe. Peace out.